Welcome back, guys. So today I'm going to show you how to process this wild clay. If you watched my previous episode, you got this from the river, and now you're wondering, how do I process it? All you need is your clay, 2 5-gallon buckets, I think I said one in the last video, a sieve, and you will also need a pillowcase to go over that second bucket. So this is a 5-gallon bucket. You need another 5-gallon bucket, and you're going to put a pillowcase inside of it. That way, after you get done mixing up this clay, you can pour it into there with the sieve on top, and it'll filter out all that good stuff. But I would probably sieve it a couple times before you do that. Alright guys, first step, add the clay to the bucket. Alright guys, second step, add water. Alright guys, the next step is to mix your clay. You can do that using your hands and pulling out some of the material that's in there, or you could use the shovel that you use to collect it with, or you could use a stick. These are all cheap ways to do it. If you don't have any of those, you could use a cement mixer, and a cement mixer will mix it up for you. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going cheap, so let's do hands and shovel. Alright guys, so once your bucket of clay has been thoroughly mixed, you're going to take your sieve that you've made, and you're going to pour it in to a new bucket. Make sure this bucket is clean on the inside, and then you're pretty much just going to keep doing that same process. Take this bucket, pour it into this sieve, pour it through this sieve into a clean bucket, and you're going to clean this bucket out. And you're going to take this bucket, pour it back into here. And you can do that as many times as you want to get out as much organic material as you think that there is in there. Make sure you work in that clay. See, it's already getting stuck. Something that you can do to help with this is you can get a hose and spray in the middle here and just make a circle, and it'll help get this clay out. You can just tell there's a lot of debris. Shaking it is a good way of getting it in. But you want to make sure as you're pouring this through that you're not getting it on these outside edges. If you can make a sieve that sits directly on top of a 5-gallon bucket, that would be best. This sieve I've had for 2 years now, and it just does the job good enough for me. So now this is a lot of just organic material. So after you've gotten as much organics out as you can by going from one bucket to the next with a sieve, cleaning the sieve off, cleaning off the buckets, going back and forth, doing that as many times as possible or as many times as you would like. What you're going to get is something like this. You can see there's still some smaller bits on top, but that's okay. I mean, this is going to be natural clay, so it's going to have some organics in it, especially if you can't find a pure body of clay. I would have to find just a pure body of clay, which they do have at the river and you can find. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. This is a way of kind of getting some of the dirtier clay clean. So once you've done that, you're going to put your sieve, you're going to put a pillowcase on top of another bucket. This one has a hole in it, which is good for more of these watery mixes where I had to use a lot of water to really get the clay off of the organics. So for the more watery mixtures, I do like using this that has a hole, and even for the ones that aren't as watery, I still like the hole because it helps the moisture drain out before I take this off and tie it up. So I'm going to put this on the bucket, put the sieve on top of the bucket with the pillowcase inside of the bucket, and you're just going to pour it in there. Alright, now that you've filtered it and you've poured it in your pillowcase, what you want to do is take this off. This off, get a string, I'm going to tie this top up. Doesn't have to be any crazy knot, just make sure it's secure. Pull it up, and you're going to let this bag sit just like this. I just let it sit right on the floor. Make sure this knot is secured. Tie it one way, then maybe tie it the other way. Bag does not open. And that will end up drying out in about 3 to 4 days, depending on how hot it is. But all the moisture will evaporate. Another thing you could do is you could hang it, but this is a lot easier for me, just one person, and especially if the bags get really heavy, trying to hang it. I need to figure out a hanging system for it. But just as of right now, it's super hot. It's already got up to like 100 degrees this summer. So I'm just going to let it sit here on my patio and it will evaporate within 3 to 4 days. It'll have the right consistency for me to throw with, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's been about 3 days now, and it has lost a lot of volume. It's gotten very firm compared to when I put it in this bag. So let's open it up and check it out.
Look at that.
So I ended up making 2 bags from that one haul, or 2 pillowcases full from that one haul, and I weighed it after making this clip and it came out to 23 pounds. So initially I got 35 pounds of raw clay from the river, processed it into 23 pounds of workable clay. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, really helped me out. Appreciate it guys. Thanks for watching.